Is addiction a disease or a choice?
I rely on the experts, and I've been fighting this fight since I was about 13 when I was participating in Teens Against Drug Abuse way back then. And in my opinion, and I think the opinion of many experts, it certainly is a disease. Of course, choices affect your outcomes in life, but there certainly is a piece to this as the research comes out that there is a part of your brain that can be affected by this, making it a disease. Whether that's a brain disease or whether that's another kind of disease, I think it is a disease, and we have to be compassionate for our brothers and sisters and our fellow men and women out there that are suffering from this disease and suffering from sometimes what is a poor choice. I've been fighting this fight since I was about 13 when I was participating in Teens Against Drug Abuse way back then. And in my opinion, and I think the opinion of many experts, it certainly is a disease. Of course, choices affect your outcomes in life, but there certainly is a piece to this as the research comes out that there is a part of your brain that can be affected by this, making it a disease. Whether that's a brain disease or whether that's another kind of disease, I think it is a disease, and we have to be compassionate for our brothers and sisters and our fellow men and women out there that are suffering from this disease and suffering from sometimes what is a poor choice of our society, which so many people I've met have been successful at doing that. It doesn't have to end up in an overdose that results in the taking of a life. You can survive and you can be productive.
I've had a lot of kids through middle school and high school who've suffered through addiction, and it was the cycle I mentioned earlier that because the environment was such that the choices the adults around them made, it became easier for them to be affected by it. I think we have a responsibility as a city, as a school system, and as a community to make sure that those choices are hard choices to make, and to make sure that we treat this disease like any other, that we're giving the support that people need, we're giving opportunities for wraparound service and opportunities for therapeutic support to make sure that we can put people in the best light. That way, they can't break that cycle.
Smoking. And that's why I'm really going to focus on breaking shame, breaking stigma, because so many of you have family members who are chemically addicted to substances, and we cannot blame them, we cannot shame them, because that will only keep people hiding. It will keep them from not accessing services. So at the end of the day, this is a disease that we must tackle head on to keep our community members safe and healthy.
Regardless of whether I believe it's a disease or whether it's a choice, we still need to find them help. If it's a disease for some of these people, then we need to find a way to cure the disease and make them get off the drugs that they feel they need. If it's a choice, then we need to find ways of giving them other choices, other things that they can do to stop turning to this as one of their choices. So like I said, and I'll repeat it again, we need to work with the organizations that know how to have a better handle on this than we do, partner up with them, assist them to get these people off of the disease that they're on or the choices they want to make, because it's a serious issue and we need to do everything we can to help.
People never decide to live like this, and it's the people in the trenches that try to help them. I remember once at Durfee, I had a young lady that was a sophomore. She was already using heroin. I had a friend of mine, everybody knows him, Chris Herron, come in, talk to the girl, helped her get placement, got her out of the town, put her in Pennsylvania in a treatment center, and I was all so happy. I said, we're making progress, we're gonna help these students one by one. The last thing Chris said to me when they were leaving that day was, you do know this probably won't work. And I see now how strong the cycle is to go back. I believe it's a disease. I believe we get these people help, and if we continue to fight the battle, they can live healthy, productive lives. But right now,
addiction has affected my family. I myself have been to Al-Anon meetings about a decade ago, and I feel it's important for you to know that I have a personal stake in this as a community member, as someone who has people that I love who are close to me who struggled with addiction. I don't have any of the answers. I mean, I don't have all of the answers. I'm glad that my opponents and I all agree that we need to do more, but I can promise you that I am with you and I will fight for you to fight this epidemic and keep our communities